If you are choosing your final project as implement a real-time face mask detection, then you are not supposed to use the dataset that is available in Kaggle, but instead you are to prepare your own dataset. So you have to build a Python program which will automatically use your webcam to collect your object. So basically, since you are building an object detection model for face mask recognition, you have to have images in which you are wearing a face mask and set of images wherein which you are not wearing a face mask. Again, make sure that you will be capturing your images with the help of webcam and the Python code, and you should not be using the Kaggle dataset. So I will just show you an example where I have written a Python code which will automatically open my webcam and capture images and keep my images into two separate folders, the mask and non-mask folder. Once you have collected your image, the next step is to label the images in your data set. So in our case, since this is an object detection problem, so basically you will have to come up with a bounding box around your nose to mouth, because that's the place where you will have your mask. So you will have to come up with a bounding box around your mouth, which also includes the nose, or however way it appears the mask is present on your face. But the important thing is that you should use here an API that is directly available, which is called as label image. So this is the GitHub where you could clone the label image API. They have given how you can use, or how you can first install this label image into your laptops and start using it. I will also provide you with this article which you might find helpful in order to install a label image package and start using it. So basically, if you are to install label image package, you first need to have this library called as PyQt5 version 5. You should also have LXML, and basically then they will say you how that you have to start running this particular commands. What are the particular commands that has to be run in order to start the labeling process. So first you have to run this command, and then after following that you have to also run this particular command, python label image.py. So if you have installed your label image properly, once you enter the command python label image.py, it should open a toolbox like this. So first you need to set your open directory wherein which your images are present, and then you also have to set where you need to save your labels, annotated labels. And also one thing you can do is change this to make auto-save mode so that it's easy to work with. Now, in order to use this label image toolbox, the key that you should use in order to start labeling is W. So when you press W on your keyboard, it basically brings you with this this particular line. Now, since I need to come up with a face mask detection, this is what my labeling should be, or this is where my bounding box should be. And this is an example of mask. So I say I label it as mask, and then press OK. Then you can use the key A from your keyboard to then move on to your next images. So I have pressed this button and came to my next image. Again, I press W on my keyboard to have the line and then my annotation. Again, it is an example of mask, so okay. Press on next image. So this is an image where I have no mask, so I would say label this as no mask. Go to my next image. Again, press W and no mask. Now I have done it for just 2 images. You will have to do it with the images that you collect. So I would say that at least you collect and label 30 images for both the classes, mask and non-mask. As you can see, since I have completed the labeling process, now I have got an XML file. So let us go ahead and open this XML file. Here, as you can see, you have got your bounding box coordinates, and then the corresponding class is mask. So this is a very helpful tool that will help you to come up with a labeled data set. Once you have your labeled data set, it is time that you can build your object detection model. Now for this project, I don't want you to build the object detection model from scratch, but instead use the TensorFlow Object Detection API and leverage the concept of transfer learning using any of the pre-trained model of your choice. So in order to get started with installing your TensorFlow Object Detection API, you will be basically cloning this particular GitHub repository. So if you check the TensorFlow 2 Object Detection API tutorial, if you follow this tutorial, basically you will have your TensorFlow API installed in your computers. Now, I would strongly recommend that you build a separate separate environment in your Anaconda and then install all the necessary libraries into that particular environment. So again, I found this very great tutorial which will give you a step-by-step demonstration of how to use TensorFlow. So this TensorFlow Object Detection API. So this documentation actually covers most of the TensorFlow setups, but one that we are interested in is especially the installation of TensorFlow Object Detection API, and that can be found at page number 9. So here, starting from here, TensorFlow Object Detection API installation, you will have to just follow through this particular documentation. So here you could see that in order to get started, you have to download the TensorFlow Model Garden repository, or you have to clone that repository, which I have just shown you guys. So in order to perform your installation, just go through these steps in this documentation. So basically, you will have until this page. So from page 9 to page 13, this is where in the documentation you will find how you can install your TensorFlow Object Detection API. As I have mentioned, for this project, you will not be building a model from scratch, but instead you will be using pre-trained models and leveraging the concept of transfer learning. So here are some of the pre-trained models that has been available for TensorFlow 2, and you could download any of these and work with those pre-trained model of your choice. In this TensorFlow 2 Object Detection API tutorial, basically they are showing you an example of how to use the SSD ResNet 50 pre-trained model and train it for your own purpose. So basically, going through all these documentations and additional help I will be providing, I hope you will be able to come up with a object detection model for face mask detection. Here, as you can see, I have built for myself a object detection model using TensorFlow Object Detection API in order to detect hand gestures. So basically, you could see I'm identifying few of the hand gestures for which my model was trained with. And again, for this concept also, I leveraged the idea of transfer learning and used a pre-trained model along with the object detection API.